Sorry for the awkward angle and washing and dryer machine behind me. This room just has the best lighting. This is a video about some things that you can do in college. Things that you can do in college? No. This video is about giving tips to help guide you through college. It's kind of like a survival guide through college. This camera is making me very nervous, actually. Okay guys, we're gonna do this right. So when scheduling for classes, a lot of people don't really know what to do. So your first year, you want to make sure that you want your classes to be back to back. I had a day past year, where I had 4 classes in one day, and it's not that bad. You just get through the classes and you're done. And that's just me, because I like to do my homework at home. I'm not a big procrastinator. But if you think it'd be easier for you to work in a school setting and you are a procrastinator, the one thing that surprised me is that in high school, usually you have like 6 minutes in between classes or whatever, but in college the minimum is going to be 15. You can space your classes out if you like you can have 2 hours between them, 1 hour. And if you feel more motivated to do work while you're on campus, then you can just space them out a few hours, and then in between you can like take a break, get some food, do some work. If you're more motivated to do it in the school setting, you can do your homework there. So it kind of depends on what best suits you. Some classes, they don't even require you to buy books, even though in the system it says that they will. It kind of depends on the professor. So usually what I do is just wait until I take the first day of the class, and they go over the syllabus and stuff, and they usually tell you what books that you need. And sometimes they'll just be like, hey, it says we need a book, but we're not going to use a book. And I had a few classes like that. And what I would do is, when you want to go buy the books, I would go early in the morning, because when you go into a bookstore, the line is long. Like the first week of classes, it's gonna be crazy long lines. Throughout the days and the weeks, you start getting more tired because you're up doing homework, you have jobs, work, school, so sometimes you just don't have a lot of time basically to do anything. So you get really sleepy in class. Some ways that I usually do to keep me awake in class, I know a lot of people like to do energy drinks, but I feel like that it's just bad for your heart, so it's not really the best option. In my opinion, there's 2 things that I usually do. Since you can eat in class, I usually bring some snacks. I bring drinks. You know, you can even chew gum, whatever. They don't let you chew gum in high school. They're always like getting on to you, like, stop it, chewing gum. So you can eat all the time, and it's awesome. Also, another thing that I like to do is I get distracted easily in class, and it's hard for me to pay attention to what the teacher's saying. Basically, because I'm so tired, I'm just like not even there. I'm just halfway there. So usually what I like to do is I like to sit in the front of the classroom, because that way you're eye to eye with that teacher. Like, that teacher is looking at you, like he or she can see exactly what you're doing. So it's kind of like hard to not not stay awake. And then also it's easier to listen to what they're saying, because when you're sitting in the back of the classroom, you have like the whole class in front of you, and it's so distracting because you can just see what everyone's doing. But you're in your front, if you're sitting in the front, you just see that teacher. Another thing that's really important is, I would say, definitely do join a club or do a sport. Personally, I feel like if you're doing a career that requires you to do practice with it, like film or art or anything like that, I would definitely 100% join a club, because you learn more in the club than you do in the classroom, because you're actually hands-on, constantly doing it. Now, sometimes in the classes you do a few hands-on things, but it's not as like proactive, like you don't do it as much. It's a good place to start networking as well, because you see who else is interested in that school, that's interested in the same thing as you are. So not only just business connection, but you make friends. It's just beneficial in every single way. As for schoolwork, the teachers can give a lot of notes out at one time, and yes, sometimes they leave PowerPoints and stuff like that. And I guess it all depends on your way of studying, but I personally found that you want to review your notes the same night that the teacher gives you the lecture, because it'll help you remember what you have learned. Studies have shown that if you review the notes in the same day, you're less likely to forget it, because you have your short-term memory. I've heard this from campus police, so this is really a true statement. When you're walking around campus at night, and you can easily get jumped, you can get stuff stolen from, there's incidents of people bringing guns on campus. It's a serious thing. So when you're walking around at night and you need to walk home to your dorm or to your car, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to everywhere around you. They're gonna more likely to approach you if you're looking down at your phone and not paying attention. So when you're walking around at night, you want to make sure that you're like aware of what's going on around you at all times, and like don't be walking around texting. Like pay attention, because people will less likely approach you when you can see them coming. Because there are also incidents when people get ran over by cars on campus because they don't like look where they're going. They just keep walking across the thing and they assume that the people in the cars are going to stop, because a lot of those college students, if they had the chance, they would race through that campus and not go slow. They don't care. They just want to get out of there. They want to go home, or they're late for class, or they're like speeding through. So trust me, they don't, you know, they kind of feel like they have to, but not all of them will. So make sure you are careful when you are crossing that street. I'll get better at this camera thing one day. It's because I'm beginning. Anyways, I hope those tips were helpful for you guys, and good luck with your college thing. Do good on your studies. Remember, you're there for your future career, so do pay attention to those studies. But you always gotta make sure you have a good time too. Anyways, thank you guys. See you.